Hello, I'm Pastor Jeremy Combs. We're going to pause for a proverb. Let's go. We're in Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 5, continuing talking about the evil woman. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. It's always important to know where you're going, especially if you're going to follow someone. Have you ever had a detour and you just chose to follow somebody hoping they'd go the right way? Well, sometimes that person does know where they're going and it works out, and other times everybody's turning around in somebody's driveway. That's okay when you're on the roads of life. It's tragic and can be very detrimental if it's in your life, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Sometimes knowing where we're headed, though, is not always very easy to discern, but there is no way of mistaking where the strange woman's path is headed. Solomon is telling us she's headed for two destinations. The first one, we're told, is she's going to death. Death is the first destination of her path. Sexual immorality and violence always go hand in hand. Most of the violent crimes in our country are committed, have some kind of a link with sexual immorality. Suicide also is rampant among those who are morally deviant of society, of the moral deviant of society, when the obvious excitement of those affairs and their fooling around wears off. The other destination, though, is not only death, it is destruction. We're told her steps take hold of hell. Health has been destroyed by immorality, marriages, families, jobs, and churches on the casualty list can continue. And men who have been in those paths, and the strange woman, they follow her, and suddenly her path goes off a cliff. Oh, the dangers of this evil woman. The next verse says, verse 6, lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou couldst not know them. Have you ever watched an illusionist perform one of their tricks? They have an object and seemingly things appear and disappear. At Christmas time, one of my boys, there was a Santa Claus, and it was interesting. He had a coloring book, and he opened it up, and there was a coloring pages, but no colors, and then he said some words, and then he opened it up again, and the pages were colored, and then he said, but we can always start back over, and he shook the book and opened it up, and all the pages were blank. Wow. And I tell you, the whole time I was watching him, trying to figure out how did he do that, and why? Because I knew it wasn't magic. It was a sleight of hand. It was a subtle. A lot of times, what illusionists will do is it's a misdirection. Strange woman's path is one of death and destruction, but initially it appears to be appealing and awarding as possible. But that's just misdirection. The strange woman's movements are described as they're movable. Remember, she's departed from the right path. That's why she's strange. It's not she's weird, but it is that she has left the known way, the Lord's way, and is chosen this strange path of life. Now she moves back and forth with both her words and her walk between right and wrong. She kind of blurs them together in order to make the right look wrong and the wrong look right. This deception is extremely dangerous. James 1:8 warns us that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Her heart is set on evil, but her ways are not easily discerned. Only godly discernment and wisdom can deliver us from her diabolical ways. And then he's going to take a little break here and swing us back to what we need to combat the strange woman in verses 7 and 8. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Now that Solomon has introduced us to this strange woman, he pauses, and once again he's going to plead with us. The plea is simple. Don't forget the words and the instructions that he has been giving us about her ways and her iniquities. Psalm 119 verse 11 says, thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Where is your heart? One of the greatest defenses against adultery is loving your spouse more than anything else. Yeah, you remember the vows you made, that helps. You can recall the love and trust you have in each other. But even greater than the remembering your spouse is to remember God and to love God more than anything and anyone else. If you'll do those things, they're going to help you. That's going to help you to remove your way from her, the evil woman, and to not come nigh the door of her path. Ephesians 4:27, Paul said it this way, don't give place to the devil, neither give place to him. Forsake the ways of iniquity. Here's what you need to do. If you're struggling or you're in a situation like this, get accountability. Learn to avoid these places of temptation. Don't take a second thought or look. Take care and beware. And that's the strange woman. God bless you. We'll see you next time.